Hi, I'm going to try to make an argument for the necessity of reason and revelation together, the path of Maimonides, as opposed to just revelation, or the general approach of many people today, that just revelation alone provides the only and sole basis for morality. So in other words, I'm trying to come up with a moral system that's based on reason, that is pure reason, as I understand it, and on the Torah, the 5 books of Moses, the Talmud, the Mishnah. Okay, so that's what I'd like to do. Now, the reason why I want to do this is what I call an adequacy condition. That is that let's say, as a thought experiment, just to give a little bit of clarity over here, is that, let's say you've got a chassid, he's running to his Rebbe, and there's secular Jews in his way that are Mechal Shabbos, they drive on Shabbat. Okay, so this chassid happens to have a disintegrator laser gun. So, he thinks to himself, okay, well, these people are anyway chayiv misam, they don't really deserve to live, and I'm on an important mission to get to my Rebbe. And so he takes out the laser gun and just shoots them into smithereens. So, obviously that's wrong. However, it can't be derived purely from revelation alone, from the Torah, because Torah has, there's the wars of Yeshua, and it's just it's not possible to derive that directly from the Torah or the Talmud. That's wrong. So you do need. So the way I understand it, for a moral system to really be a good system, it needs to have an adequacy condition, but that's wrong. Okay, so I need to get to a type of system where doing something like killing 4 million people for the fun of it is going to be wrong. I need to be able to get to that in order to have a coherent, logical, and really a moral system, that something that God wants. Okay, so how am I going to do that? Well, the first I'm going to look at the Rambam, Rabbi Moshe ben Maimon, that considers the mitzvot to be to have reasons behind them, that they are themselves are not they're not self-contained, but they are to get to something. That is Dorshan Taimei Dekra. And we find that's a disagreement in Bava Metzia at the end over there, about the not taking the garment of the almana. So the Gemara itself says, there's a reason for that. For this, it's not, well, it's a Mishnah, right? It's a machlokas in between the Tanaim. So in the Mishnah, we find one person saying that the almana of a rich woman you can take, because even though the Torah says don't take the breget of almana, the reason for the mitzvah doesn't apply in that case. And the Rambam does say that we go by the reason in that case. In other places also, I don't remember offhand, in Pirsha Mishnayos, other places like that, also the Mor Nevuchim, Rambam basically says about all of the mitzvahs, that each of the mitzvah there's a reason for it, and the reason for it is the a priori principle behind it, not the actual mitzvah. So I think that also it's important that we can understand that mitzvot, are a priori, they're based on reason, and that they're not dependent on what people say. For instance, we don't in general consider our obligations to be dependent on people's opinions, or we probably shouldn't. Right? Because, and I can show you that even though a person, let's say he's a believing Orthodox Jew, he believes that whatever rabbi says, that makes it so. But I'll show you that he, even though he thinks that, he doesn't really think that. Because if it would be possible that just what rabbis say, what they think, is going to, decides the halacha, decides the way that the world is, decides how God runs the world, so then the simplest, let's say there's a problem of oppression of the Jewish people. Well, the solution to that problem would be for all the rabbis to get together and say that there is no oppression of the Jewish people. They simply say it's not, and that's the way it is. We don't think that the solution to all evil in the world is for rabbis to get together and say, well, there's no evil. So obviously Orthodox Jews, even though they say they believe rabbis determine good and evil, obviously they don't believe that. It's just words, meaningless words. So there is a priori knowledge, I do believe there is a priori knowledge, in other words, that not just reason like the empirical school, not just knowledge, in other words, not just that we get sensory perception and then reason works on those perceptions, but that knowledge gives us a direct awareness of things, like 2 + 2 = 4, things like that, which aren't based on a priori observations. Because then, you take 2 apples and another 2 apples, you smash them together, you get one. If you can sort of manage to actually put them together, then you get like one big apple. Or, mathematics. Mathematics, I believe, is a priori. It's not based on. It's not from observation. It's not based on observation. We need to in other words, you might be able to understand the concept of 2. You might need to abstract from 2 apples. And to get to addition, I need to abstract from things that happen. But the actual concept of 2 + 2 = 4 is a priori. I believe that principles of logic are a priori. If A equals B, then B equals A. And if A implies B and B implies C, and you know A, then you know C. These are like known logical. I believe the principles of ethics, moral principles, are also a priori knowledge here. Okay, well, that's enough for today. Thank you.